Hello, today we are checking out a game called Deliver at All Costs. So this is a demo version that's available on Steam. I'm not sure how long the demo is, I've not looked too much into it, other than this came up as a suggested video on my YouTube, and so I thought I'd check it out myself. So I've loaded it up and I'll give you my first impressions of the game. So what I'm going to do is I am going to capture a mission at a time. The audio isn't in the background there because I'm doing a voiceover after playing through. And what I'm going to do is just skip through most of the cutscenes just so that I can give my opinions and a general kind of overview of the game. So, very much got what looks like Grand Theft Auto vibes in terms of the earlier series, where it's a top-down view and there were various missions and a bit of tongue-in-cheek humour. It looks like it's that kind of vibe. So our character here, Winston, just for a bit of the backstory there that you missed, he's found himself upon hard times and is currently living in what looks like a bit of a shady motel, and there was an advert on the radio that there was a delivery company that needed employees, so that's what you're going to check out. As you can see, as you walk around these mini areas, there's on-screen prompts, things that you can interact with, and the little blue footprints on the floor take you to your next objective. You probably also saw that there's a mini map in the top right hand corner of the screen there, which shows you roughly where the next objective is. So we've had a productive day so far. He's got dressed and found some unpaid bills to add to his lovely collection there. And then what we're going to do is head off, I believe, let's just see what this says. So he's got a little diary there. So this journal is the means to keep track of the missions, I suppose. So it's almost like our little tasks and objectives mechanism. So there we go, that's the radio advert. And it looks like the idea is that there's a kind of mini island. So I'm not sure of the size of the map because there isn't a world map that I could find, so I did kind of press all of the buttons just to see what it did. So this is played with a controller rather than the keyboard and mouse. I'm not sure whether they were options. It did say on the load screen to pick up a controller, so I think it is purely a controller game, albeit that this is on Steam. I haven't looked too much into it, as I say, so I'm not sure whether it's kind of slated to come out on any consoles, but I will do a bit of digging around before having a look at episode 2. Whilst these are loading up these little mini screens here, I'll just talk a little bit about the channel in general. So what I'm looking to do is capture gameplay in various formats. So if you have seen the other videos on the channel, they are currently mostly Planet Coaster 2, which I'm playing on the PS5 and building a park from scratch, and I am going through and just doing episodes which I'm numbering and uploading so that people can follow the progress. I also plan to capture some VR game footage via my Oculus Quest 3, and as I've said in my other videos, I just need to make sure that the image quality is good enough to upload, so I'll get there with that. Back to this game, what I'm going to do, the approach is going to be, as I say, to just skip some of the cutscenes because we're trying to get a feel for the game, and we will do a little bit of exploring of the areas just to see if there's any points of interest that we can see. But it does look like it's kind of structured to guide you towards the main objective. So you can see there that we're being asked to get into the vehicle, which has immediately crashed into a building. So that wasn't me, that was kind of preset. And we're getting a couple of options for the control scheme. So say is controller, I'm quite familiar with the normal throttle and reverse setup, so we'll stick with that. And it looks like it's been set up not to be janky, because it's not that the controls aren't responsive even, but it looks like it's so that the driving's a little bit wayward, because as you probably saw, the environments all seem to be destructible, and there's also NPCs wandering around as well that have little interaction. So I think the encouragement, or the gentle encouragement, is not to be the best driver, which I seem to be doing a pretty good job of showing. In terms of directions to our objective, whilst there is a heads-up display in the top right corner, it is the on-road arrows that kind of guide us there. So that's quite a good choice, I think. If again you're kind of encouraging not the best driving, then if you're going at any sort of speed, then those pop up really quickly, and it's the turning is not so crisp, I would say, on the vehicle. So I think that's a good choice. We could, I expect, get out of the vehicle and explore these little areas and see if there's any other kind of mini points of interest. I'm not sure at this point what the overall game mechanic will be, whether there's just one kind of task giver or you can pick up things in the world. We may see that as part of the demo. We'll find out in future episodes. But for now, it looks like we're being guided, but that's not unusual for an introduction to a game. As you can see, rather than the roads just being kind of flat, there's lots of terrain, so you can get some airtime and just knock on the door via driving directly into it. Let's park our car very carefully. Let's go and get ourselves a job. Here we go to "we deliver anything." Bold statement. Okay, so we're in the building, skipping through the cutscenes, but essentially backstory is that the radio advert should have been ceased. They don't actually have any jobs, but they give me a delivery, I believe. So we're just going to see who we need to go and talk to. And you can see like the diorama type setup, top-down diorama, applies to the normal gameplay, and then we've got these cutscenes that talk us through the story a little bit. So I imagine we'll get to learn a little bit more about Winston and why he's found himself on this island, staying in the Flamingo Hotel. So we've spoken to the boss, and we're now going to go and speak to the guy that gets things done. See, he runs the place. He's going to give us a little tour by the looks of things. Tell us how he's the linchpin of the operation. Ooh, look, so exploring does pay off. So I've had a little poke around at just the general environment. It looks like there are chests scattered around, and they have what looks like spare parts in, so it looks like there's some kind of crafting that will happen later in the game. So there's another chest there, so let's go and get that one. So if I had to guess, I would say that what we're going to do is we're going to do these tasks to kind of improve our quality of life, so get a nicer place, maybe buy cars or whatever. Be interesting to see just how in depth the gameplay loop is, because I'm not sure just how big the developer is. Again, I'm very unprepared. I saw that there was a suggested view of it and thought, let's give it a go. So I will have a little look for those details about kind of what they think the game is going to be, when it might release. But first impressions, it is nice to have something a little bit different from those huge open world games where it's first person. Just a little bit something different. It's always good to have some variety. So we've got our very own shiny delivery vehicle, which I'm sure we're going to promptly destroy. And so again, you can probably make out in the top right that there is a world map, so we know the general direction of our objective, but the on-road arrows are the main kind of means to find our way there. So it wasn't too far away, just up the road. What does that say? Pyros. Well, this looks very promising because it's got a huge warning sign and a very suspect looking package there. Which it looks like we're going to be asked to deliver. Okay, not a good sign when the delivery person comes out in full protective gear. It looks like we're dealing with fireworks, live fireworks. What could possibly go wrong? So we'll just have a little poke around this little diorama bit to see if there's any more of those chests. Anything over here? Nope. And again, I could probably, perhaps on other videos, is explore these little dioramas in a bit more detail and see whether any of the other buildings are accessible. But I guess this would be very much an introduction to the gameplay mechanics, even on the full version, to kind of get you used to the gameplay and all that kind of stuff, and then you kind of most games kind of expand on the options over time. So we are going to try and drive fairly carefully as fireworks erupt from the back of our vehicle, and that's immediately gone wrong. Yeah, that's quite. How it wouldn't be as much fun, would it? Let's face it. If I drove perfectly and just dropped off a package, it wouldn't be as much fun. So you saw there that what's happening is, as those fireworks stick into the road, if we drive over them, and it's going to damage our vehicle in some way. So I'm just going to carefully navigate them so we can go and complete our first delivery. So again, I know I'm kind of talking about what I don't know about the game, but this is very much a demo. I'm not sure whether the vehicle would take damage to such a degree that you couldn't make your delivery. So it'd be interesting to kind of gun it around the map and just see what happens. So depending on the length of the demo, that's what I'll try and do, is vary my approach to the different missions so that we can get a feel for everything that the game is. So unfortunately here, yeah, as soon as we get a bit of speed up, things quickly go a bit south. And you can see that on the downward sections, you go faster. We've driven over a firework, and that means that one of the wheels has come off our car, making it even more difficult to control. Just to clarify as well, when I say more difficult to control, I don't mean like a really bad experience because the game doesn't work as it should. It's seems very clearly designed to be that way, that, you know, as you damage your vehicle and wheels come off, of course it would be more difficult to control the vehicle. So we're trying to outrun some of the angry pedestrians here. I think I'm not sure that Amazon are going to be knocking on my door anytime soon, or other delivery companies are available. Of course, UPS. Not that there's just two, but I have crashed into a vehicle. There's fireworks going off everywhere. I actually quite like the humour of the game. We seem to have gone a little bit off the beaten track here, and so that's we literally got knocked out of the car there. And there comes an angry local. So at the moment there isn't a prompt to kind of interact with them. They're just literally just taking left hooks like you wouldn't believe from every pedestrian. Trying to get the tyre back on quickly. Oh, go. They don't give up very easily. Look at them all chasing me. To be fair, I'm not driving very quickly, and we are literally destroying the town. So we've gone well off the beaten track here. There's no arrows at all, so we need to find our way back. So we need to fix those tyres quickly before we get knocked out again. I don't know, she's angry again. So it looks like once they've vented the frustration, they'll get on about the day, but unfortunately I've still got them chasing me. So some of the little animations are actually quite funny, so I don't know whether you've picked it up, but some of them are clinging onto the car. So here we are, our final destination, the fabulous Palm Royal Hotel. Eager to accept the delivery of deadly fireworks for the grand opening. We'll just pop these down over here because what could go wrong? Bellhop, not eager to give me signature. Don't worry, it's all fine. Or maybe not. Well, if nothing else, people will know where the wonderful Palm Royal Hotel is, although they're running away from it. So there we go, there's our first delivery. That will just about do it for this episode. I'll carry on playing the demo and doing missions. As I say, try and change the play style a little bit and then load them. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.